Hi there. Welcome to another episode of Messy Magic. 2 days in a row, look at me go. I'm your host, Nadee Guy, and I'm actually in the exact same spot as I was for yesterday's episode, if you listened to that one. Just walking across the road to the beach. It is a beautiful evening. My little one is asleep. It's been a really warm day, so it's nice to finally have some cooler weather. You can probably hear the beach in the background though. It's pretty intense waves. And there's something I wanted to talk about today, which has really helped me over the past week to kind of reframe how I think about things I'm doing, tasks I'm ticking off, actions I'm taking, situations I'm in, to switch it from kind of just being something I have to do or something that needs to be done, needs to be ticked off, to actually being intentional about the energy that I put into it and the reason that I'm doing it in the first place. Credit for this one goes to Amanda Francis, and I will link to probably her Instagram in the show notes of the episode. I think that's where I saw it, a quote from her, and I think it might have been in a podcast episode maybe as well. But it really hit home for me because I'm the kind of person who likes to tick things off a list, but also if something is on a list, or if I've said that I need to do something or I'm going to do something, then I have to tick that off, or I'll feel kind of incomplete if I don't do something about it. And so what that means is sometimes I have the best intentions and I come up with these things that I want to do that might even be important to me, might be really valuable, but sometimes the very action of putting them on a list makes them seem less desirable. It's this weird tendency that I have. Please tell me I'm not the only person. Something that I've kind of become aware of over the past year or so. And even as far as like I've got a bullet journal, and I go through phases of tracking my habits in my bullet journal, and it's great because you can sort of see, you get on a streak and you can see how many days in a row you've done, or how many things you've done, times you've done this thing that you said was important to you. And meditation is a really good example of this, because I, as you may know, meditate using the Insight Timer app. And I am a really firm believer in meditation. I think it's a really great way to learn more about yourself, to learn about the way your mind works, and to begin to kind of become more aware in everyday life of how your mind is controlling your life, and how, if you're able to become aware of and take control of your thoughts and the way that you spend your awareness and your attention, it can deeply transform your life. Anyway, so that's all to say that I'm a deep believer in meditation, and so I have a daily practice, and I use the Insight Timer to track my streak. And I'm up to about, I think, 170 days in a row on the app, but I missed a day purely because I think I meditated after midnight or something one day. It was this freak day. I don't know why. So it's more than that. It's probably, I don't know, more than 200 days in a row, if not closer to 300. But what I've noticed is I kind of treat it as a tick, like yep, that's done, I've done it, as in, like, and often, to be quite honest, lately I've been using my bedtime as my meditation time, and I listen to a sleep story, which is a kind of a meditation, but really not the kind of meditation that I think is the most valuable in terms of what I'm talking about with meditation. But there's this thing inside of me which is like, well, if you've done a meditation on the app, then you've done the meditation, you can tick it off, and it's done. Now I'm just going to go over the sand dunes towards the beach, and it might get a bit windy, so I hope not, because I want to keep recording. And it is beautiful. Let me tell you, the colours here are like these iridescent greens in the like vegetation on the dunes. The evening ocean is like this deep, how do you even describe that blue? Just a deep blue. If you can imagine a deep kind of grey blue. The waves are like foamy, like really white, pure white marshmallow foam waves. The sky is this mixture of this pale blue, purple cloud, pink cloud, and it's just this, I just love the colours here. And as I turn around, the sunlight is kind of skimming across the top of the bushes in the sand dunes, and they're all blowing in the breeze, and it's just magical. Anyway, so back to meditation and ticking boxes. And anyway, what Amanda Francis said, which I really loved, is that she is really intentional about the energy that she puts into a thing. And she gave the example in her Instagram story of when she's washing the kids' hair or helping them with their homework. At the front of her, like of that activity for her, of her intention, is connection, connecting with the kids. And I think that's a really great example, because if it was me, it would be very easy, and I think many of us, really easy to have those kind of tasks on a list of things that we have to do today and tick it off and do it in a distracted way. Sorry, I'm just taking a couple of photos at the same time. Speaking of being distracted, because I just, like, these colours are amazing. I'll put them on my Instagram. Yeah, and it, like, there's a very, very big difference, I think, between doing something like washing the kids' hair, with connection at the forefront of like why you're doing it, what's going on in your mind and your intention behind it, versus doing it because you have to, feeling distracted, thinking about all the other things you'd rather be doing. Like, it's the same task with entirely different intentions, different energy. And it also, like, I mean, this can apply to anything. Like, if you work for yourself, you know, anything that you do in your business could use this principle. Sorry, I just had to pause recording there for a sec because I saw a bird wing, like, on its own in the bushes, which is really weird. Something's obviously caught and eaten a bird, and like there's just a wing left. It's pretty weird. Hope it's not a symbol for something for me. yeah, so anyway, like I really feel like you can use this principle for anything in life, and I've just been really noticing over the past couple of days where this is useful in my life. And I've just set up a new habit tracker for myself in my bullet journal for January. I haven't done habit tracking for a few months, so I want to get back into it. But I want to do things because they mean something to me, not just because I'm ticking them off a list or checking a box in my journal. So I think this is really useful. I hope that you can see how it might apply and be helpful in your own life. I really encourage you to give it a try. It might be something as simple as even like picking up your phone to check social media. Like, I know it gets a bad rap, and I don't talk very highly of social media typically, but I do think there is a place for it. But like, I think it's a very different energy once again. Picking up your phone and absent-mindedly checking whatever social media app you're checking because you're bored or distracted or stressed or you don't want to feel your feelings or whatever it is. Like, it's just this thing you do. I think there's a dune buggy coming behind me or something. Versus like having the thought, I'm going to pick up my phone, I'm going to check Instagram, I'm feeling like I'm craving some inspiration and I want to feel inspired and motivated. And then deliberately looking at your feed, or going even better, going to check out a couple of profiles that you know make you feel that way. And maybe setting a timer, saying I'm going to spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes doing this, and then feeling good about doing it on the other side of it, and while you're doing it as well, because you know that there's value in it, you know why you're doing it, and you're bringing a beautiful energy to it. For me, I've really noticed like how I can apply it in creating like content, even this podcast or a newsletter, which I haven't done yet, but definitely applicable to that. When the next one that I write, which I'll probably do tomorrow. It was supposed to be today, but I think it'll be tomorrow. You can join at nadiguy.co, and there's a link in the header to the newsletter. So creating content, creating anything really, spending time with my son. You know, if you've got family that you want to spend more time with, like having this whole principle front of mind when you're spending time with them, like thinking consciously, like I'm going to be intentional, I want to spend quality time with this person, they have my full presence, my full attention, even if you don't want to be somewhere, like in a situation where you don't want to be, thinking what energy do I want to bring to this situation, rather than trying to escape it in some way. Like, what is my intention here? What do I want my energy to be? I just love it. Amanda Francis, I highly recommend following her if you've got any of the same interests as me. I love the way that she lives her life, really. She's very switched on, and the way that she describes things. But like I've been following her for a long time, and often she says a lot of the same things over and over again, but sometimes she just says something slightly differently in a different way, and it actually hits home for me. Again, we'll link in the show notes. Thank you for being with me for my little walk. I'm going to start to wind down for bed. I hope January has started out well for you. And I'll be back in your queue really soon. Have a magical day.